Absolutely gutted. Cain Velasquez's prison verdict ignites outrage, condemnation across MMA. The roar of the crowd has faded, replaced by the cold clang of prison doors. Cain Velasquez, a name synonymous with dominance in the octagon, now faces a different kind of fight, a fight for his freedom. But is this justice, or a tragic consequence of a system failing to protect its most vulnerable? Give a like and subscribe. Leave a comment. On February 28, 2022, a nightmare unfolded. Cain Velasquez, a former UFC heavyweight champion, engaged in a high-speed pursuit and shooting incident that would forever alter the course of his life. The target, Goularte, accused of a heinous crime against Velasquez's then 4-year-old son. The chase spanned 11 agonizing miles. Velasquez, fueled by rage and a father's primal instinct, fired shots from a .40 caliber handgun through his windshield. The vehicle he targeted carried Goularte, his mother, and his stepfather, Paul Bender. Paul Bender sustained a gunshot wound to his arm. While the injuries were non-life-threatening, the act itself was a stark violation of the law. Photos presented in court showed Goularte's truck riddled with bullet holes, a chilling testament to the violence of that day. Velasquez faced a staggering 10 felony charges. These included attempted murder, shooting at a motor vehicle, and multiple counts of assault with a firearm and a deadly weapon. The weight of the legal system bore down on him, each charge carrying the potential for decades behind bars. He ultimately pleaded no contest to all charges. This decision, while perhaps strategic, signaled an acceptance of responsibility for his actions. Prosecutors initially sought a draconian sentence of 30 years to life, a punishment that seemed to disregard the context of the crime. The defense, understandably, argued for leniency. They hoped for a sentence of time served in probation, acknowledging the severity of the offense while emphasizing the mitigating circumstances. The stage was set for a legal showdown, a battle between justice and vengeance. Judge Arthur Bocanegra delivered the sentence at the Santa Clara County Hall of Justice. Reports indicate the judge was visibly emotional, a rare display of humanity in a system often perceived as cold and detached. Velasquez was sentenced to 5 years in prison, a sentence that includes time already served. Impact statements were delivered, painting a complex picture of the tragedy. Velasquez, his wife, and his 15-year-old daughter spoke, their words filled with pain and desperation. Goularte and his family also addressed the court, their perspectives adding another layer to the already fraught narrative. Velasquez's daughter pleaded for her father to be present at her soccer games. Her simple request, a poignant reminder of the human cost of this case, resonated deeply with many. The MMA community erupted in reaction, a mix of outrage, sympathy, and condemnation echoing across social media. Throughout the proceedings, Velasquez expressed remorse for his actions. He accepted whatever punishment came his way, acknowledging the gravity of his offense. His words, though perhaps carefully chosen, conveyed a sense of genuine regret. He stated he understood his actions were wrong. He even extended forgiveness to Goularte's family, a gesture of remarkable grace in the face of unimaginable pain. This act of forgiveness, however, does not negate the fact that he took the law into his own hands. "The way that I handled things was not the way to do it," Velasquez admitted. He further stated, "We cannot put the law in our own hands." These words, while perhaps too late, serve as a stark warning against vigilante justice. While Velasquez faces the consequences of his actions, Goularte's legal battle is far from over. He awaits his own trial date on June 2nd, facing serious charges of lewd acts with a minor. The outcome of this trial will undoubtedly have a profound impact on all involved. Goularte has pleaded not guilty to the charge. The legal process will now determine his guilt or innocence, a process that must be conducted fairly and impartially. The shadow of Velasquez's actions, however, will undoubtedly loom large over these proceedings. Adding another layer to this complex web of legal battles, Velasquez's family has filed a separate civil lawsuit. The lawsuit targets the Goularte family and their businesses, seeking damages for the alleged abuse of Velasquez's son. This legal action underscores the family's determination to seek justice through every available avenue. The lawsuit claims Goularte sexually molested Velasquez's son, It also names Goularte's mother and stepfather, who operate the childcare business where the alleged abuse occurred. This civil case promises to be a long and arduous process, further prolonging the pain and suffering of all involved. Cain Velasquez is a decorated former UFC heavyweight champion. He first captured the title in 2010, establishing himself as one of the most dominant forces in the sport. His relentless pressure and unparalleled cardio made him a formidable opponent. He won the belt back again in 2012. He defended his championship twice, cementing his legacy as a true legend of MMA. His career, however, was plagued by injuries, preventing him from reaching his full potential. He stepped away from MMA entirely in 2019. He briefly pursued professional wrestling, signing with WWE from 2019 to 20. His transition to wrestling was met with mixed reviews, and his career in the squared circle was short-lived. He was expected to serve as the manager of Team Dubai for the Global Fight League's debut season in 2025. This opportunity represented a potential new chapter in his career, a chance to mentor and guide the next generation of fighters. His prison sentence, however, has effectively extinguished this possibility. The future of Cain Velasquez is now uncertain. His legacy, once defined by his dominance in the octagon, is now inextricably linked to this tragic case. The question remains, can he ever truly escape the shadow of his actions? The system failed Cain Velasquez and his son. It failed to protect a child, and it failed to provide adequate support to a father driven to the brink. This case is a stark reminder of the urgent need for reform in our child protection system. This isn't just about Cain Velasquez. It's about every child who has been failed by the system. It's about the fathers and mothers who feel powerless to protect their children. It's about a society that must do better. We must demand accountability from our elected officials. We must advocate for stronger laws and better resources for child protection. We must create a society where no child is left vulnerable to abuse. Take action now. Contact your local representatives and demand reform in the child protection system. Donate to organizations that support victims of child abuse. Share this video to raise awareness and spark conversation. Let's ensure that no other family has to endure the nightmare that Cain Velasquez and his son have faced.